Hi, it's Master Wong here again. Today, I got a special guest in Italy. Sifu Fernandez coming to England to visit and to have a judge show with me. I wanted here just basically introduce him to you out there through my channel to let you more understand about what this Sifu gonna do. A lot of time when you're watching on a YouTube side, you see a lot of his video and you don't know much about him. So I don't know much about him myself, so I'm curious. I want to talk to him about, ask him about what sort of thing he done in the past, what sort of he do, so I know a little bit more about him as same as you, so you can understand more about him. Okay, hello Sifu Fernandez, have a seat.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're right. Have a little bit of something to drink. So
Thank you.
You know, so we can. Tell me about a little bit about yourself then.
I was already about 5 years old and I saw Bruce Lee in Wing Chun, and we had a Wing Chun school in our town, and so therefore I was about 7 years old in 1972, and I started doing Wing Chun under the family tree of Grandmaster Chun, who passed away a couple of years ago, and that's how I started. It was purely for self-defense reasons.
All right.
Yeah.
So a lot of time, everyone in 70 want to learn martial art because of Bruce Lee. I myself as well, I must admit, Bruce Lee do touch me pretty well on this. So yeah. So when you move to Australia, and you stay there a long time?
Did all my schooling there, lived there for about 36 years.
36 years. So you do a lot of the Wing Chun in Australia?
That's right.
And then do you travel around to learn?
I traveled around later, yeah. I started from the year 2000. I started traveling around Europe, going to China as well, and different places in Germany, so Italy. And I mean, collectively, all my experience, I've been lucky. After that, of course, through that time as well, I learned a lot of boxing, kickboxing, basics in Greek-Roman wrestling, eskrima, dochepares, knife work. So I've been able to learn a lot from different systems. And so I used a lot of that. And then when I finally started getting involved with security work, I started getting very, very serious and limiting my work into direct contact, making it very simple, making it very dynamic and reality based. So that to me was very important evolution. Until now, I'm starting to get a little bit old. Then in the last 10 years, I started to learn more about internal mechanics of Wing Chun. And I was lucky enough to work with Tai Chi masters. So I'm not a Tai Chi master, but I've learned a lot of the mechanical works, and I had a lot of fun doing pushing hands. So through pushing hands, I actually learned a lot. Yeah, connected to pushing hands with the phases of learning the long pole, the Ba Cham Dao. I put a lot of that together, and I created my own system. So still respecting, because I'm old-fashioned, I still respect the Yip Man family tree, and I still connect a lot of the philosophy and the methodology of the way they teach.
I think in Chinese, like myself, people always say, when you become somebody's student, all the time you will become their student. You see, that's the thing. Sometimes when they say, like sometimes I got the master I used to train and stuff with, but I don't do stuff with him. But you all refer to him because you're always their student, regardless. That's the part. That's the how we think in Chinese way. But in the Western, it's slightly different. In the Western, if I finish with you, then I finish with you, and that's it. I start to talk shit about you, not try to respect you anymore. Yeah. So this is the problem. So when you over there training on that side, then you do a lot of year in security. You spend a lot of year in security.
Yes, and different levels of security. Different skill. Personal security, bodyguard work. Riot controls, bouncing on my own, bouncing with 2 or 3 people. So yes, and also managed to do a couple of politicians as well in group security. So all right, it's been very, very, very extensive work.
So basically, you talk the talk and you walk the walk.
Yes, you could say that.
You could say that. Yes. So that's quite on myself, respect to you as well, because a lot of time people don't understand. People just say, I do this and that's how this and how this and how that. but reality term is really completely different. So that's why I quite respect you on the way you conduct yourself and quite humble you are and everything else. So make you learn a lot more as well, because you're quite humble and you're quite open to think. You know what I mean? Not like, that's why I say all the time about learning. People don't understand the few thing about learning. Some people thinking a lot of time about go somewhere to learn and then expect somebody to teach you something different all the time. But a lot of time when people go to learn something, they don't understanding is like, oh, I already know that already.
Yes, that's true.
I already know that already. Nothing new. Teach me something different, or I don't agree with you because I don't do this way. You do that way. How you find that the way you do?
It's very hard. But look, I think it's the younger generation now. Everything is so easy and accessible. So they lose that quality of learning and high repetition and doing things until they really truly understand it. They just think that because they did it for one day, they know it. But they don't. They really don't. To know something, you have to work it deep to the bone. It has to become part of your DNA. And if you don't do that, if you don't work hard like that, if you don't work the basics, you're never going to get to a higher level. So no use talking about give me the higher stuff because you don't even understand the basics.
I think that's very, very true. Because a lot of people just want fast food. You know, fast food, they don't cook. So when the time comes to get hungry, they have problem because they don't know how to cook today. Here the cow, I don't know what to do with it. What you gonna do with it? Marry to it? You see, they don't know what to do with the cow. This is the problem. Everything is fast food. I want a burger. Does that look like a burger? This is the big problem. So I find myself, so a lot of time when you're teaching people, they always expect something new stuff or something more. I want to do that because I saw that before. You know, somebody do that. I want to do that. But to do that movement, you need to spend a lot of time to get a basic right. You know, like what you mentioned, the basic have to be right. And the basic to be right, you need to understand yourself. You know, you understand a lot of the basics, so you can put it to work. And the student is just sit there, don't spend enough time on it. So difficult to make them work. So what you gonna say to the student when they don't understanding the thing, understanding the movement? How you gonna put them across to make them understand them?
Well, actually, I have some unique methods. What I do, what I've done is I created a competition, and it stresses the student and obliges them to work, right? So and that when they are put under stress, they start to realize, oh, it doesn't work. A lot of stuff, like, you know, a person will say, I can do paksa, or gee, he can do a paksa, but what if he does a bong sal faksal? Then I can do a tan sal. Like, as soon as somebody just comes and goes wham, right, with a paksa punch, they're going to start realizing that everything they've been studying, they can throw it out the window. So to do competition, it's been very hard to create the competition because it has to reflect the Wing Chun principles. But I've got good methods to make them work, and it makes them wake them up very quickly.
That's the problem. A lot of time people don't want tanda, go in, bam, and that's when difficult to control, difficult to block.
Yes.
And a lot of times, same thing like modern day now. We live in the West, like I mentioned before. In China, different people do crane style, tiger style, whatever style. And a Chinese master do the movement, and they don't really expect you to talk back. You know, you're trained in China before. Yeah. Master do this, shut the fuck up. You do that. You don't talk back to me. No respect for the master. Now you get bam, 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 bam. But in the Western we live in the West. It's completely different thing. Yeah. People said that shit didn't work. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna chop you in the face. I'm gonna take you down the ground. I'm gonna do MMA to you. So this is a big problem. So when you get this kind of student come to you, what sort of thing you do? How you put them in a place?
Well, sometimes I smack them up. No, not really. I mean, sometimes you do have to work with a student on a reality level, and you have to shock them, and it gets their mindset changed. Now, that's my methodology. It may not be yours. So because I can't stay there. This is very important. I can't stay in the class and explain everything to one student. He's going to hold everybody up. I can't dedicate all my time to you. If you want me to dedicate my time to you, do a private lesson. That's the only way I'm going to do it. And like I said, sometimes what I do is I'll go through basic programs. I bring it as close as I can to reality. So it shuts them up. Because they know if they're going to go work against one of my students, and I know that I've trained them well, I'm going to say to him, hey, you need to wake him up, because I don't want to do it. Give him a good paksao faksao in the neck and see what happens. and that helps them wake up. People have to learn my way of teaching, not your way of learning. That's the way I do things. And you have to go back to the roots. You have to look at the way people became good. You know, Bruce Lee would say, hey, sometimes I would do a kick 1,000 times until I got it perfect. Who today is going to do a side kick 1,000 times? No one. So at least if you can do 100 times and do it properly, you start seeing the value of something, then you can respect yourself and respect the art. You know, or else you're just going to go like into a candy shop and say, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this. Like a big kid, you accumulate all these certificates, accumulate all this knowledge, but you can't use it. So you got to learn to apply. That's really important.
I quite like your methodology. What do you call it? Methodology. Methodology. Mine is a crap. So methodology about things, you know, my way, not your way. This is very quite good because it's my way of teaching, not your way of learning. And that's why I quite like that. But into me, a lot of time, I do tickle them. I don't smack them up, but I do tickle them a bit to make them loose up a bit, you know, and then put them in right place and then easy to teach. You know, anything in life the same. You mold them up a little bit. You know me? You know me? People don't understand, you know me. They bring you up, they crack you down, and then you're gonna put you in the right place. And that's what they've done in the army. And this is why you don't understand. So this is the same thing. We're trying to do a little bit softer way because we're in the West. So we try to be more into the more like civilized.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
In China, they do different way. Yeah, they're more communists. They go in there and you don't open your mouth. I want to smack you. And if you go in and give me chip, I break your leg. It's different because they got no insurance and I don't need to insure you. You break your leg, top shit. Take the pill, bye-bye. Nobody care. But in Western, we get sued and you know what I mean. If anything you got to blame, they're going to sue your ass and you're going to have a problem. So in training like that, it's quite important. So yeah, I quite like it the way you form a nice public getting now, understand more about your background now, understand more about what you do, understand why you do your Wing Chun that way. Not it. That's why I say all the time, not all Wing Chun create ego.
That's right.
Not all Sifu create ego. You show the Sifu fit you and you like the way they do things. And then you fit you to them so they can learn things from you. You're there to learning so they can able to teach you. Not you want the Sifu to fit you. You have to fit with him because you learn from the Sifu. You understand? And that way, I would talk to people all the time like that. So, I like it. And the way you do things, the way you say things, the way you have the right mindset, the way you project yourself, I like it. So, anything else you want to say to the audience?
No, the only thing I would like to conclude is enough talking about myself. I did come today as well to actually have the experience, like I have an exchange with Master Wong, and I wish to express the same feelings. What you see on YouTube is not what you get in real life. If you want to learn and meet him, he's really good at what he does. So, you know, just pay your money and see with your own eyes. That's the best thing I can say.
I can say to you, if you're quite nice, and you're good, I don't talk about money all the time. I can teach you for free. But the problem with it is, you need to make sure I got to qualify you first. If I don't like you, you're going to have a problem. So, few things you need to bear in mind. Three kind of people I don't teach. Ugly people I don't teach. Why? It hurt my eye to see you. No money people I don't teach. Because if you got no money, you got no value of doing things. Not because I charge you, because you just get things for free. You don't appreciate.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a big problem. And the third thing, if you're the bum, I can't motivate you. So free people, if you're not that kind of free people, by all means, ring me up, contact me, and be right there to helping you to understand. So this is enough for today, and thank you for Sifu come along, and thank you for that. And I will see you on the next show. Hopefully, something nice for you. Okay, people. Bye-bye.